Hello there, and welcome back to International Fathers. I'm your host and your creator, Nelson L. Moody Sr. Reading books is always a good favorite pastime, but it's good to read a book and you can get something from it. It's good to have a book that's so enlightening and so intriguing that can change your whole life. This book, When a Judge Can't Judge, Part 2, The Conclusion. This is a book, as you can see, is the second part of When a Judge Can't Judge, My Nightmare of the Court System in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm going to read just a little bit of this book right here. In Chapter 1, God, the Alpha and the Omega. Chapter 2, November 1999. Chapter 3, January 2000. Chapter 4, Pound for Pound. Chapter 5, 10 Count. Chapter 6, My Injustice. Chapter 7, A Father's Love. I Love You, Son. Chapter 8, Who Judged the Judges? God Almighty, Matthew 7, 1 and 2. Chapter 9, My Vision. Chapter 10, God, the Beginning and the Ending. A little bit about this book. This is a more informative book than When a Judge Can't Judge, My Nightmare of the Court System in Baltimore, Maryland. This is the book that will have people looking at the court system at a different angle. This book will also be the backup of When a Judge Can't Judge, My Nightmare of the Court System in Baltimore, Maryland. To change the court system when it comes down to what's in a child's best interest. It will and can help someone out in a case like mine to beat the odds that are against them. It will also have judges and attorneys who, like the ones that I had, to make sure that they have all the facts, the proof, evidence, pertinent information, and credible witnesses before they make any decision. A judge uses an ink pen to write down a decision based upon what he or she is given that can affect someone's life for the rest of their life if he or she is not using common sense, good judgment, and following the procedures, the rules, and practices of the judicial system. That person's life can be altered tremendously. As you see, a lot of people these days in 2015 are getting released from jail of crimes they were accused of doing years ago. The whole time they pleaded not guilty. After years of research with new technology, these people are found to be not guilty and being released. Attorneys, make sure that your client is telling the truth. Judges, make sure you practice your oath to judge cases partially and fairly based upon the evidence, the facts of proof, and credible witnesses, so that you don't send no one to jail unjustifiable. This way they don't look incompetent like the ones that I was dealing with. The ones I was dealing with were very incompetent to the highest degree. The attorneys out there doing their job according to what's right by the way of common sense, then the degree of which you have a privilege to practice. I do commend you. You have the ones people can have some respect for and don't mind recommending to a family member or a friend for something. Chapter 9. Excuse me. My vision. I have a vision that one day this society in which we live in will come to a complete understanding with full acknowledgement of the truth that men of parents also. I have that vision. I have a vision that one day parenthood will no longer be looked as a gender thing, male or female, but a commitment of responsibility to the offspring of two people. I have that vision. I have a vision that one day responsibility of raising a child or children will not always be favored to the female gender, but to the male gender as well. I have that vision. I have a vision that one day a male gender will be looked at as a good parent to his child or children to the greatest degree. I have that vision. I have a vision that one day no court or judge will have the opinion to tell a male gender when not, how, and how long he can see his child or children. I have that vision. I have a vision that one day a man is in the court for his child or children with all the facts, the proof, the evidence, credible witnesses, and pertinent information to show what's best for his child or children. A judge won't hesitate to grant him custody. I have that vision. I have a vision that one day judges will be able to recognize truth and facts as it pertains to the case like mine, to protect the child and children and not his or her career. Let me say that one again. I have a vision that one day a judge will be able to recognize truth and facts as it pertains to a case like mine, to protect the child or children and not his or her career. I have that vision. I have a vision that one day a court system in the United States will look at facts, proof, and evidence, credible witnesses, and pertinent information while listening to credible witnesses before a decision is made with respect to what's in a child's best interest. I have that vision. I have a vision. Y'all still with me out there? I have a vision that one day when a woman makes a report of domestic violence to the police department, that report should stand in court by itself. I have a vision. I have a vision that one day the state's attorney will no longer have the power of having a domestic violence case null process. Null process means, in layman's terms, we have enough evidence to convict you, but we won't. We're going to hold it over your head. I have that vision, especially when a child or children are involved. I have a vision that one day, while in court, when a child or children are involved in a domestic violence case, the child or children are injured. I have that vision. I have a vision that one day, if the state's attorney null process a domestic violence case, especially when dealing with children, it will automatically be picked up by the next echelon of the judicial system in order to safeguard the child or children. I have that vision. I have a vision that one day Child Protective Services, the Department of Social Service, and the school system along the court system all cross the same computer system. When a police report of domestic violence involving a child or children, when reported to the police department, I have that vision. This book right here is so powerful and so informative that this book is written in loving memory. And I read, in loving memory of a little girl who I've never ever in my life met. She will always be in my heart and my memory. We all have to leave this earth one day, but she left with people knowing she was being abused, and no one responded quick enough with evidence to show she was being abused. Because of the negligence of the system, she died a horrible and terrible way that no one deserved, especially a child. I love you, little girl. And also in loving memory to the children who have lost their lives as a result of Department of Social Services, Child Protective Services, and the court system putting them back into the same hostile environment that they came out of, instead of putting them in a safe environment using common sense first and then law second. This little girl was being tortured. She was in a little room. She was eating in that room, going to the bathroom in that room, and sleeping in that room. When she was at school, she would eat like this, like she's in the military. Went to school with bruises. That should have rung bells. The educational system did their part. The police department did their part. The ball was dropped at the Protective Service and Department of Social Service because nobody intervened in this little girl's safe and her welfare. The little girl died. She shouldn't have died like that. No child deserved to die being abused and neglected without somebody saying something. And if you know of a child being neglected and abused, don't turn your head. That child could be your child. Once again, I'm Nathan Moody Sr., and this has been International Fathers.